Now, for more on Christina Romer's resignation as chairman of the President's Economic Council, I want to bring in banking consultant Bert Ely. Bert joins me live by phone. And Bert, Romer quits the night before one of the biggest economic data points in recent memory. She is typically the government's PR person talking to the media after the release of the report. What does that signal to you?
Well, I think the administration is increasingly embarrassed by the very rosy unemployment forecasts that were issued at the beginning of the administration. They needed to have a fall gal in this case, and Romer is it.
Was she asked to leave, or did she leave on her own accord?
My sense is that she was pushed out the door. She supposedly wanted to return back to California, but I'm sure that the situation had become untenable for her. And but I think ultimately, if she had wanted to stay, she could have stayed.
How big a loss is Christina Romer? I mean, we know when she speaks with us that she talks the president's line, the administration's line. But what kind of ideas was she pushing that may not have gotten heard?
Well, she supposedly was pushing for more stimulus, but I think as much as anything else that she was possibly frustrated by the fact that a lot of these stimulus efforts had not worked, and that the unemployment rate is staying at a stubbornly high level.
Now, the person who's left, of course, is Larry Summers, and he's known as a brilliant economist, but one who appears to be toxic, perhaps, as a team member. Is his intellectual contribution worth the conflict and tension that seemed to come along with his presence?
Well, it may not be worth it, but Larry is clearly well ensconced within the White House, and I think that if anybody should go, it ought to be Summers. But I think he is well positioned right now and has protected himself, and Romer's going to take the fall for this rather than Summers.
And now he has some cover if the administration does change its approach.
Well, he does have that. The key question is who is going to want to take the CEA chairmanship as long as Summers is positioned where he is.
What about Austin Goolsbee? Hasn't he been kind of named as a front runner, perhaps?
He has been named as a front runner, but apparently there is some concern that with Romer's departure, there will not be any women in senior economic policy positions, and so they may search around for another woman to take Romer's place.
Does any name spring to mind?
No names immediately come to mind. I think, again, the question has to be who would want to take that job as long as Summers is where he is.
Okay, does the president need to come out right now, particularly if we get a bad jobs number this morning, and send a strong signal that job growth is its priority, as opposed to trotting out the same line that it has been the last couple of months? What does the White House need to do today?
Well, I'm not sure that there's much they can do. I mean, they've been saying that they want to increase job growth. Quite frankly, I think that in the short term, between now and the election, there's really not much the administration can do. The job growth has to come out of the private sector, and it's not clear that we're going to see a rapid growth in private sector jobs. Not only are we likely to see a higher unemployment rate today, but something that concerns me very much are all the folks that are dropping out of the workforce, which intends to lead to, if anything, an understated unemployment number. But frankly, I think this becomes a major burden politically for the Democrats this fall, and I don't think there's anything the president can do that will meaningfully alter the situation.
Yeah, but no politician can afford to be seen saying or doing nothing in light of that. Thank you for your thoughts. We've been speaking with Bert Ely over at Ely & Company. He was joining us by phone.